Picture this, a dark twisted reality where childhood nightmares and family trauma collide, spiraling into a nightmarish journey through fear, loss, and the unsettling truth. Well, what you have is Bad Parenting, which released on August 16th of this year and released on Steam on October 9th, so pretty recent. And it was published by the Vietnamese indie developer 2002. The game pushes the boundaries of psychological horror and offering players an intense experience they won't forget. Like shit, I'm still thinking about my first playthrough, like oh my god. Anyways, what starts as a simple exploration of abuse transforms into a deeper, more personal odyssey of trauma, regret, and an unspeakable past. In a gaming landscape flooded with generic horror titles, Bad Parenting emerges as a haunting gem that delves into the sight of its young protagonist. At first glance, it may seem just like another horror indie game, but beneath its unsettling surface lies a rich tapestry of trauma, regret, and the complexities of childhood nightmares. This game masters combining elements of psychological horror with a gripping narrative that forces players to confront the darker aspects of related relationships. As players step into Ron's shoes, they quickly realize that this isn't just about surviving the night or escaping monsters. It's a profound journey into the depths of loss and suffering, where each step of the nightmarish world serves as a reminder of Ron's tragic fate. While playing the game, players are drawn deeper into a narrative that interweaves elements of horror with a sad exploration of grief and memory. This unsettling journey is expertly crafted to evoke feelings of empathy and reflection, encouraging players to not only confront their fears, but also to understand the emotional scars that linger long after the traumatic events have passed. As we peel back the layers of this agonizing experience, we'll unpack Ron's story, explore the innovative gameplay, and delve into the striking visuals that create an atmosphere of dread. Join us as we embark on this chilling exploration of Bad Parenting, where the horrors of the past collide with the present and the true nature of fear is revealed. Our story begins on what should be a joyous occasion. It's Ron's birthday. It's a day meant for celebration, filled with cake, presents, and laughter. However, the reality of Ron's situation is slightly different. As the day unfolds, his mother, overwhelmed by the pressures of life, forgets to give him a present. Instead of the anticipated joy, she shares a chilling tale of the red-faced man, a figure set to leave gifts for children while they sleep. But his presence brings terror rather than delight. This legend serves as a foreshadowing sign of the horrors that will soon engulf Ron's life. The home dynamic is fraught with tension, a constant backdrop of fear and uncertainty. Ron's mother, depicted as a well-meaning yet exhausted figure, struggles to balance her responsibilities while managing her husband's increasingly erratic behavior. In stark contrast, Ron's father emerges as an embodiment of anger and frustration. His uncertain nature creates an oppressive environment, turning Ron's birthday celebration into a countdown to impending horror, where love is drowned out by fear and neglect. Let's dive deeper into the characters who shape this chilling narrative. First, we have Ron, our young protagonist. He's a kid who's sensitive and has a big imagination. Ron finds himself in a harsh family environment where love is overshadowed by fear. His innocence and vulnerability make him a relatable character to anybody who's his age or a bit older maybe, embodying the struggles of many children facing abuse and neglect. His wide-eyed wonder is often met with harsh realities, leaving him to navigate a world that is often unkind. Next, we have Ron's mother, a character defined by her deep love for Ron, yet burdened by the chaos around her. She often tries to shield Ron from the harsh realities of their life, but fails to recognize how deeply the situation affects him. Her dismissive attitude toward his fears highlights her own struggles, as she grapples with feelings of guilt and helplessness in the face of her husband's aggression. Although she really cares for Ron, her inability to protect him ultimately leads to tragic consequences, illustrating the complexities of a mother's love in time of crisis. Lastly, we have Ron's father, a complex antagonist in the narrative. His character is driven by deep-seated anger and frustration, often taking out his rage on his family. He represents the dangers of unchecked emotions and toxic masculinity, illustrating how personal demons can manifest as violence. Ron's father is not just an abuser, he's a product of his environment and his own unresolved issues, making him a tragic figure in his own right. His actions serve as a stark reminder of how unresolved pain can spiral into cycles of abuse that affect entire families. After the unsettling encounter with his parents, Ron just goes to his room, which he goes to sleep. While he's sleeping, he experiences a vision of a mysterious figure leaving a box. The next day, he discovers a talking doll inside the box. Seemingly, it's an innocent gift that quickly becomes central to his journey. The doll, with its whimsical yet sinister appearance, symbolizes both comfort and chaos in Ron's life, representing the duality of his experience. The bond between Ron and the doll is both comforting and unsettling. Initially, the doll serves as a source of companionship and solace, guiding Ron through his fears. However, as the relationship deepens, the doll begins to reveal its own motivations and dark truths. It tells Ron that his father has been taken by the red-faced man, or his master, urging him to open the closet to rescue him. This quest represents not only a physical journey, but also an emotional one, forcing Ron to confront his fears that have haunted him throughout his life. As the lines between reality and imagination blur, Ron's reliance on the doll becomes both a source of strength and a potential downfall. As Ron musters up the courage to confront the red-faced man, he steps into the closet, a space that represents both safety and danger. Inside, he encounters his father in a vulnerable state, lost in his own trauma and repeating the haunting phrase, "Stop." This moment underscores Ron's feelings of helplessness, as he realizes that the man he idolizes is not the hero he imagined, but a deeply flawed individual who is grappling with his demons. This revelation shakes the very foundation of Ron's understanding of love and safety. Throughout the narrative, Ron's mother remains oblivious to the extent of his suffering. When Ron shares his fears about the red-faced man, she dismisses them as mere hallucinations, inadvertently deepening Ron's sense of isolation. This dismissal creates a rift between mother and son, as Ron grapples with reality of his situation and the emotional turmoil that accompanies it. The chasm of misunderstanding grows wider, leaving Ron feeling increasingly alone in his fears. The turning point occurs when Ron discovers the doll injured, a moment that forces him to confront the reality of his circumstances. The doll explains that he was hurt because of Ron's attempt to save his father. He was hurt by his master, revealing the interconnectedness of their fates. This revelation complicates Ron's feelings, as he realizes that even the most innocent seeming relationship can carry burdens and consequences. The pain of the doll mirrors his own, and Ron begins to see the profound impact of his dysfunctional family. Driven by the doll's words, Ron embarks on a darling quest to confront the red-faced man. He took his mother. The climactic showdown unfolds in the closet, where the line between reality and nightmare blurs. Here, Ron throws a spell that he found earlier, resulting in a surreal and harrowing encounter. The stakes are immeasurably high, and the consequences of his actions become painfully clear as the doll sacrifices itself to protect him, embodying the ultimate act of love and bravery. The emotional weight of this moment is profound. The doll's sacrifice signifies Ron's willingness to confront the darkest aspects of his life, even at the cost of losing his only ally. This confrontation leads to the heartbreaking revelation about his existence. Ron learns that he is entangled in a cycle of trauma that extends beyond his immediate experience, facing the truth of his life and the impact of his father's violence. The game culminates in a haunting twist. Ron has been deceased for 14 days, trapped in a limbo that reflects his unresolved traumas. This shocking revelation forces players to reevaluate everything they've experienced throughout the game. Ron's journey through trauma and abuse transforms into a poetic commentary on the effects of neglect and violence within families, shedding light on the often overlooked struggles of children facing such harsh realities. And the one to kill Ron is Mr. Redface, who is also his father. His father killed him because his mother threatened of a divorce. No, not even threatened. She wanted a divorce. This woman was done with this man. And what did he do? Started drinking, slamming his bottle on the table, each time angrier and angrier, till he just snapped. And he ended up snapping Ron's neck in his room and hiding him in the closet for 14 days. And what's crazy to me is the foreshadowing that was all over the game of just the ending of everything. The cat representing death, like, oh, what's your name? Like, taking your name and shit. And there's other kids there with Ron when he was searching for his dad, who also ended up with the same fate of being murdered. And there's two ways you can take this. Either the way they were murdered or the way they were hidden. One was burnt, one was buried, one was taken away in a car, or one was run over, one was burnt alive or buried alive. Take it as you will, but that's just what I think. And the foreshadowing in this game is amazing, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm putting them up right here on clips side by sides, and I wonder if you guys realized it, if you played it, or if you haven't played it. I recommend playing it, honestly. I had a lot of fun playing this game. It actually really scared me a lot that I had to do this. That scared that I had to put the monitor like so far back, because usually I have it like right here. I had to put the shit so far back. Fuck this, bro. I don't like this at all. Yeah, I had to do that. Okay, I'm getting carried away. Let's move on to the next part before I start yapping. But what does bad parenting ultimately convey? Beyond its horror elements, the game serves as a powerful reflection on the struggles of children navigating their family's dynamics. The haunting atmosphere and emotional depth challenge players to confront uncomfortable realities about domestic violence, mental health, and the often unspoken consequences of inaction. It urges us to listen, to understand, and to act. The relationship between Ron and the doll serves as a sad reminder of the fragile nature of childhood innocence and the desperate need for support during turbulent times. As players guide Ron through his harrowing journey, they are reminded of the importance of compassion, necessity of breaking the cycle of abuse, and the need to foster safe environments for vulnerable individuals. Ultimately, the game invites us to reflect on our roles in supporting those who may be silent, suffering, and challenges us to create a world where no child has to navigate their fears alone. But this is just what I personally think. If you have a different opinion, let me know. I would like to know what you think this is about. Whew, okay, that was a lot. Let me know if you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment like always. I like reading you guys' stuff. And let me know what you want to see next. Like, if you have any topics you want me to talk about, I'll talk about it. Just leave a comment down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys when I have a new video done. Bye.